Daniel sat alone in his small apartment, staring at the silent phone screen. Another day gone. Another day wasted. His life had become a loop. Wake up tired, scroll endlessly, complain, sleep late, repeat. He felt stuck in a cycle that was slowly draining every drop of potential he once believed he had. He whispered to himself, "How did I end up here?" His job was unfulfilling, his health was collapsing, friendships fading, and confidence almost gone. Weeks turned into months, and every morning he promised himself he would change. But the promise never lasted longer than a few hours. One night, after another long session of comparing his life to others online, Daniel broke down. He realized he wasn't afraid of hard work. He was afraid of starting, afraid of failing again, afraid that he wasn't good enough. But something changed that night. Maybe it was the silence. Maybe it was the exhaustion. Maybe it was the fear of staying the same forever. He opened a blank notebook and wrote one line. "I will change my life in 6 months. Not someday. Not next year. Not tomorrow. Today." The next morning, Daniel woke up early not because he felt motivated, but because he felt desperate. He put on his old running shoes and stepped outside. He jogged slowly, out of breath within minutes, but he kept going. He returned home sweating, tired, but strangely proud. It was the first time in years he had done something difficult on purpose. He began reading 10 pages of a self-help book every day. He deleted all social apps that caused him anxiety. He made a list of goals: get fit, learn new skills, save money, fix his mindset. The first week was uncomfortable. The second week was painful. The third week was lonely. But for the first time in a long time, Daniel felt alive. Change was slow, invisible even, but he could feel something inside shift, a spark, a sense of direction. By the end of the first month, he had run 40 miles, finished 2 books, and slept on time every night. He didn't tell anyone about his transformation. He wanted his results to speak, not his words. Daniel was beginning to understand a simple truth. Your life doesn't change when the world becomes easier. Your life changes when you become stronger. By month 2, Daniel was a different person, fully transformed, but undeniably evolving. His mornings started with stretching, jogging, and journaling. His evenings were filled with deep work, learning digital skills, designing a portfolio, and improving his communication. He wasn't waiting for motivation anymore. He was building discipline. His coworkers noticed something strange. Daniel was no longer complaining. He stayed calm, focused, and productive. When others wasted time gossiping, he used that time to improve himself. The old Daniel would have tried to please everyone. The new Daniel protected his energy. One night, while studying online, he realized he had learned more in 6 weeks than in the past 6 years. He could feel his brain sharpening, his confidence rising, and his ambitions expanding. For the first time in his life, he wasn't just surviving, he was growing. His body changed too. His shoulders had more shape, his face looked sharper, and he carried himself with a quiet confidence. People around him didn't know what happened. Some admired him, some avoided him, some felt threatened by his progress. That's when Daniel learned his second great lesson. When you upgrade your life, you outgrow many people, and that's okay. By month 4, opportunities started appearing. A friend recommended him for a part-time project. His manager noticed his improvement and gave him more responsibility. His online portfolio slowly gained attention, but the biggest transformation happened inside. Daniel stopped seeking external validation. He stopped comparing himself with others. He stopped being a victim of his thoughts. Instead of doubting himself, he asked better questions. What can I learn today? What can I improve? What can I control? Every day brought a new victory, even if it was small. And every small victory made him stronger, more confident, and more resilient. He wasn't becoming someone new. He was becoming who he was always meant to be. Month 5 arrived like a reward. Daniel received an email from a company interested in his portfolio. His hard work had paid off quietly, and now the results were loud. After a few interviews, he secured a better job, double the salary, flexible hours, and a chance to grow. He celebrated alone, Not because he had no one, but because he wanted to remember this moment forever. This victory was not luck. It was built through sweat, discipline, and unshakable commitment. With his new routine and income, Daniel improved every part of his life. He invested money wisely, continued reading daily, trained harder, and treated his mental health with respect. He cut off toxic influences and surrounded himself with positivity, learning, and purpose. By month 6, Daniel stood in front of the mirror and didn't recognize the person staring back. His body was healthier, his eyes were sharper, his mind was peaceful, his goals were clear. He had gone from lost to focused, from insecure to confident, from ordinary to exceptional. People who once ignored him now asked for his advice. Friends who doubted him now respected him. And the world that once felt heavy now felt open, full of possibilities. Daniel realized something profound. You don't need years to change your life. You just need 6 months of extreme focus. The world hadn't changed. His circumstances hadn't magically become easier. He had changed. And because of that, everything else changed too. Daniel closed the same notebook where he had written his first promise. Under the words, "I will change my life in 6 months," he added another line, "I did."